Hi everyone, Gloggles here. So this is my spoiler-free review of World of Warcraft. Real quick, I'm not gonna have my jacket for a while. I went and saw some friends, left it down there. Won't have it until I go on my trip and come back from it. Anyhow, on to the point of the video. World of Warcraft. Okay, here's the thing. Unless you are a fan of the World of Warcraft lore and you love it, or unless you're just an individual who doesn't really care too much about lore, too much about character development, and just wants to see a good old-fashioned fantasy movie, just a roller coaster ride, this is probably not going to be the movie for you. You will be left going, okay, what's going on? Who is that? What? You'll be confused. Left in bewilderment. So, the thing about this movie, that, because I'm going to touch on the negatives here real quick, that I was mostly disappointed in was the lack of character development. Some of the characters kind of feel like they're stable, that they're just there. Really don't know who these individuals are. Now, I know a lot about the lore, so I knew a lot already about these characters. But I still went into it judging it as if I didn't. And you're just left going, oh, when something like big happened, you were just left going, oh, okay, that happened. Don't feel anything. And it was really the strongest downfall of this movie. And it was disappointing because I expected a little bit more. Really, the only character and interaction that you really got something from was from Duratan and Draka. And, you felt like Gul'dan was a bit of a threat. But that's really it. Yeah, that's really it. And it's just, it was lacking in areas where it really needed something. It needed substance. That's what it needed in developing its characters. Positives? Positives was, it's a roller coaster ride. I mean, if you're planning to go see this, I'm telling you right now, it's just a roller coaster ride. So, I would see it during a matinee. As far as the positive, the CGI was great. I was a little iffy going into this because the trailers made the orcs looked like something out of a PlayStation 4 video game. They still kind of do, but not near as bad as what I thought they did. And that's, to me, that's a good thing, because I was really worried about that, because let's face it, bad CGI is bad CGI. There's no way around it. The magic was pretty good, actually. Like, how they represented that, how it was interpreted. So that was really cool to see, how they executed that. The Fel, Gul'dan, so you obviously know there's going to be Fel magic in it. That's not really a spoiler. It was great, actually. I like how this movie did that. Another thing about this movie, as far as the lore goes, this really isn't a spoiler either, considering they show Stormwind in the trailer. If you know your World of Warcraft lore, then you know that when this all went down, it was with Lordaeron. If memory serves me right, it was with the Kingdom of Lordaeron. And I think the reason they chose to go with Stormwind is because everybody knows Stormwind. You say Stormwind to someone that's a gamer, if they know anything about World of Warcraft, they're going to know what city you're talking about. You say Lordaeron, unless they are like Noble on YouTube, who is a World of Warcraft lore person I follow, they're probably not going to know what you're talking about. So I see why they chose Stormwind, maybe because of that. So it is, I mean, and I expected it to be a little different from the actual lore, because let's face it, I mean, video game adaptations into movies are not particularly great, but even I gotta admit that so far this has been the best one that I've personally seen. So I can give it props for that. Well, Khadgar got some, he did get some character development. So that was a bonus, but really those Draka, Duratan, and Khadgar and Gul'dan were the only 4 characters that really got any kind of time for any sort of development. And really, it wasn't even that much. Wow, I keep talking about negatives. And you can see it's kind of hard to actually point out some positives in this movie. I mean, it's a roller coaster ride. I mean, I loved how Dalaran looked. I mean, that was spectacular, actually. I personally liked it, how it looked better in the movie than it does in the actual game. I've been playing World of Warcraft for 9 years. And, well, I can honestly say that I would probably buy this on Blu-ray, most likely. But it's not something that I would see in the theaters a second time, sadly. And it's really disappointing because I had high hopes for it. I don't know. If I was to give this movie a rating, I would say it's probably best. Maybe a 6 or 7 out of a 10. 7's pushing it. Because I like character development. I like a movie that gets me attached into it. Lost, for example. Charlie, when he died, I cried. I straight cried over that character. My favorite character. I like character development like that. And I know that that's a series, and it's unfair to compare to a movie, but I'm just using that as an example of what I mean. So, taking that, putting it into this movie, you don't have that emotional impact. And that's unfortunate. So, 7 would be pushing it. 6 definitely. It's an average movie. I mean, it's alright. They are making a sequel from what I hear, and if that does happen, I will go see it. Simply because I love this kind of stuff anyway. Now, as far as the roller coaster, if I was to just judge it purely on the roller coaster, it being a roller coaster, just that. Throwing the technical difficulties, throwing the technicalities out that I'm docking it for, I would easily say, yeah, it's a fun roller coaster. It's an 8. So if you want a serious movie, it's an average 6 out of 10. If you want like a roller coaster, then yeah, it's an 8. Go for it. Go enjoy your roller coaster. But that's my thoughts on World of Warcraft. So what were yours? Make your comments down below. I'd be very interested to hear them. And please like and subscribe. Until then, I'm Gloggles, and I will see you next time.